Hey there, guys. Welcome to the Consciousness Awake Patreon edition or version or whatever you want to call it. My name is Jeremy, and thank you so much for deciding to become a Patreon member. This is our way to connect more deeply, and also it's your way to support the Consciousness Awake channel and support my work. I do have a lot of plans for the future involving the astral projection community and the art of astral projection, and just to focus on this particular field for many years to come. So thank you again. I really appreciate all of you who decided to make that step and to help support my work, and to also have access to extra information, extra videos, astral projection workshop videos, and more importantly, I can just speak more freely, have freedom of speech, and speak about anything I'd like to talk about, and it's not going to be censored by some other platform like YouTube has with all its censorship rules. So that's another cool aspect to it all too. So in this video, I want to get into dimensional theory, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. Throughout my life, all of my consciously aware astral projections, out-of-body experiences have been essentially within the 3D, 4D, 5D spectrum. Of course, the 4D being what I refer to as the etheric plane, and the 5D is what I refer to as the astral realm, or the several different levels within the astral plane. And so it's kind of more of like just this huge realm. It's very vast. And so all of my consciously aware experiences, remember OBE stands for out-of-body experience, and the only way to really kind of get a, pretty good, how to get a good idea or sense to how our soul mind, aka consciousness, how it interacts and works energetically, especially with energy and matter in these other dimensions, in the fourth and fifth dimensions, is important to understand, and very beneficial to your own personal soul ascension process. So in this video, I want to talk about some of that, talk about just kind of paint a good picture or a visualization of the nature of the fourth and fifth dimensions, and how they're all connected and whatnot. Now, first of all, the fourth and fifth dimension is connected and here all around us right now. As you sit there in your chair or wherever you may be, just sitting there and just breathing in air, all of that is interconnected from this physical reality, and it's also connected to the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension. It's all here occupying the same space, all at the same time. But when you actually shift your consciousness into that different frequency, let's say into the astral planes, you find that the astral planes are way more vast and complex, larger in volume. It's this huge territory, even though it's all just right in front of us. Okay, so the reason why that happens is because all of these different levels, or we call planes, dimensions, are just in different frequencies of matter, and so it's just like thinking about your car radio, and you're tuning into different stations on the radio dial, and all these different radio stations are just on different frequencies. Okay, and you can't hear the other station if you're tuned into a certain frequency. But yet, all of these different frequencies on this radio is all in one unit, right? It's all in one system. They're not separate radios. So that's kind of a good way of looking at it. So the fourth dimension, and also the reason why I want to do this as the first video, talk about dimensional theory and get into this stuff, is again just to kind of express my experiences and how I see these dimensions, so that you can kind of get like more of a grasp within your own soul mind on it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so the fourth dimension is the etheric plane, and it's essentially almost like a simulated copy of this physical reality. I guess you can say it can go either way. Which one came first, the chicken or the egg? Etheric plane or the physical plane? So those are all just mysteries. There's a lot of mysteries and unanswered questions all around us, and let's not worry about that. Let's just focus on observation, experiences, that kind of stuff. And so through my experiences, the etheric plane is about like let's say a 90 to 99% simulated copy of this physical reality. And so when you consciousness shift into your energy body that's in the frequency of matter that's associated with the etheric plane, you are in an area where you can hear and see what's happening in this physical reality. So you're kind of in it, but at the same time you're outside of it. You're just a ghost to the perspective of any human being, and to the senses of another human being. You're invisible. You're like a ghost. But at the same time, when you are in that ghost body in the 4D, you do have a lot of abilities and capabilities to manipulate things in this physical reality, very much so. You can affect people's emotions and thoughts and stuff. There's a lot of things you can do from the fourth dimension etheric plane, that how it intertangles with this physical reality. That's why there's a lot of ghosts out there. That's why there's a lot of beings who are from somewhere else, or have passed over, died in the physical body, and they just cannot let go of this physical world and the experiences they had in their human body experience. It's so hard to let go of it all, and so they do whatever it takes to just exist in that area, in that etheric realm, that etheric plane, the 4D, where they can still have some kind of connection to physicality. So that's kind of like there's a lot more to talk about, obviously, but I don't want to make a super long video about it. But we can talk more about the 4D and etheric plane in other videos. Now, here's what's important to know, though. When you're in this fourth dimension, within this fourth dimension, you have doorways, tunnels, cave systems, portals, many different avenues, many different things going on that connect you from that etheric plane into the astral planes, into the astral realm. Some of those connection points just lead into the lower astral, or the first level in the astral realms, the first plane in the astral realms, and some of those tubes and other things and portals connect to other levels within the astral realm. It is quite complicated and complex. That's why earlier in the video I said, OB stands for out of body experience, and you can't really have enough perspective and experience to understand some of this stuff unless you truly pursue and have many out-of-body experiences, so that you can test and experience and do all of this stuff for yourself, because that again is the ultimate way of soul ascension and understanding of the multiverse and how these other dimensions function, and how your consciousness interacts with energy and matter in these non-physical dimensions. It's very important to understand, to know how to do that and how it works. So in the astral realm, like I mentioned, there's many portals and things that connect into the astral realm. And then within the astral realm, you have 7 levels or 7 planes. The reason why I say 7 is because that is what I truly believe within my own spiritual belief structure from my own experiences. There are some other people who have mentioned similar things, and I believe that they have also experienced that for themselves also, and that's why they believe that. So in these astral realms, so you imagine there's 7 levels, 7 planes, right? And where it gets a little more complicated is that you have, let's say the second plane in the astral realm, all right? And see, this is where it gets complicated. So when you are on that plane and you are going through different entryways, portals, etc., and you're going in, down below that plane is what we would want to refer to as subplanes. There's a lot of reality constructs, worlds, individual worlds, reality constructs within those subplanes. It's kind of like, imagine, how there's underground bases, underground cities here on Earth, right? Underneath the ground. There's tunnels, and there's things that are 1 mile underground, 2 miles underground. Black Ops, Top Secret, Navy, this, that, DUMS, all this stuff, right? Is actually existing under our feet. So it's the same kind of visualization. So you're on that, let's say, that second astral plane, and there's stuff underground within that astral plane, but within that matter, right? And so when you go into these subplanes through slides, through astral tubes, through different ways, there are, especially in the first and second astral levels, you will find, some pretty darn heavenly, heavenly reality constructs. But at the same time, you will also find hellish reality constructs. And there's, I don't even know how many there are. I mean, there's got to be hundreds, thousands. I really don't know. I mean, all I know is that there's thousands of different reality constructs within that spectrum of negative vibrational frequency and going up through positive vibrational frequency. And so wherever a person astral projects to with their consciousness, or when they die in the physical body, or they're from some other planet, or whatever the case may be, whatever you're resonating with, whatever you are vibrational lock with, you will kind of in a way gravitate to that particular reality construct. But that's not what always happens. There's a lot of different scenarios and things that happen to souls, to consciousness, even just here after physical death in this human body in this earth reality construct. There's all these different scenarios and different things that can happen. So So yeah, let's move along here. So you're imagining this astral realm. Again, this would be the 5D, the fifth dimension. And then right at about a midpoint, so the astral realm's like this, and then right in the middle of that, there is what we call the Akashic Records, Akashic Library, Akashic Plane. And so also what I want to mention is, through my own experiences, this physical reality, this earth reality construct, the way I see it is a sphere. It's a sphere of data, right? And that etheric plane that overlaps and is a simulated copy of this physical reality, it's just another larger sphere that surrounds that physical sphere. And then when you go into these astral planes, there are just these larger spheres just moving on out into, so it's just spheres within spheres of different densities of matter, different frequencies, all this stuff. Okay, so I hope that kind of paints more of a picture of how it's layered, the different levels and dimensions. So this Akashic plane is really big, and it's just this big layer, a big sphere that's in the middle of the astral realm that surrounds a lot of data and beings and all kinds of stuff that it's monitoring and recording. And so, for example, let's say you you were driving your car, and in the first example, you're driving your car, and you accidentally run somebody over. Okay, so you driving your car, you have an accident, you run somebody over, they die. That's recorded. But what's also recorded, though, is your emotions and intentions and thoughts that led up to that accident of you running somebody over. And also what's recorded is your emotions and thoughts and everything, your empathy levels, remorse, all kinds of things, is also recorded after you ran that person over. So obviously there's a big difference between somebody driving a car and then actually running someone over and then not caring, right? Not having any empathy, no concern. They just take off, hit and run, right? That's recorded. Now, you run that person over by accident, and if you're an empathetic person, a loving person, a positive person, hey, it's an accident, you're going to pull over right away, and you're going to do whatever you can to help this particular person that you accidentally hit. So the Akashic Records is not going to record you running that person over as just an evil act. It's going to record that you ran them over, but it's going to record, more importantly, what you were thinking and feeling, your emotions, your empathy, all that stuff. It's going to record that too. And so that's what people have to understand. So when people are intentionally lying or hurting or doing whatever it is that's negative to some other human being or some other being for that matter, these things are recorded there in that Akashic layer or that plane. So the Akashic plane is kind of like a really advanced, high-tech version of what we call our internet. Our internet and Wi-Fi, internet, all the stuff that we have in our current with our current technology here in this physical reality. It's just that, but magnified a million times. And the way consciousness interacts with the Akashic Records and plane and all that information is different in the astral realm, because your consciousness is interacting with that type of energy and matter, but that's in that other dimension. And how it interacts and functions with it is totally different than how our consciousness sits here in this physical body and interacts with the internet, here in this world. So I hope that kind of painted a good visualization or picture of what I'm trying to say. So the astral planes and continue on. There's 7 levels. The 7th level, or the top level of the astral realm, is what I would consider or call the mental, more of a mental plane, where your thoughts manifest, create things much more rapidly and faster than in the 1st or 2nd level of the astral planes. Also, what I've noticed is that if any thoughts I have are a little more unpure, or I think of something that's maybe a little more negative, if I'm in an out-of-body experience and I'm in that 6th or 7th level of the astral planes, I notice that my vibrational frequency of my soul, it comes down, and it automatically throws me down into the lower part of the astral, or into the etheric plane, or just simply throws me back into my physical body, and then I'm stuck, in that sleep paralysis, and I can't move, and then after about a minute or so, I start wiggling my fingers or my toes, and I come back to like full on, integration, to the neurons and my nervous system and all those things with my human body, so I can start using the body again. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, all of my consciously aware out-of-body experiences are essentially what I call that 4th dimension, that 5th dimension. But when you are in the astral planes, and with some of my other OBEs over the years, I know 100% that there's other dimensions, and there's other dimensions, like a spiritual realm, a God realm, or a God plane. There's other dimensions out there beyond the astral levels, astral realm. I've just never had any conscious awareness, any actual memory recall of any of those things. But from enough OBEs from my own self, I know there's something. For example, some of my interactions with our star, with our sun, while in out-of-body experiences, has led me to believe that behind the sun, or the back part of the sun, there's some kind of connection, portal, energetic link to some of these higher up realms, the spiritual planes or God planes. Just seeing the energy and the light that comes through those down into the back of the sun just makes you feel that and think that, in all honesty. And what's cool too is that, as I continue my meditations and my astral projection experiences currently in my life, in the years to come, I'm trying to explore, beyond the astral realm. I'm trying to explore past it to get more data, information for myself, which then ultimately infuses into my overall spiritual belief structure, but also that I could talk about it, like on Patreon like this, or on my YouTube channel and stuff, and get information out there, because I know that I'm here on a mission. I'm here for multiple missions. There's a few different reasons why I'm here in this human experience, but one of them, 100%, is to help open people's consciousness up, open their minds up to the larger reality system in these different dimensions, and also to help people, get out of body and experience all of these things for themselves, to do consciousness exploration, because that's really the only way to do this. You got to do it for yourself and have your own experiences. So this first video here is just kind of more or less, we're just talking about the 4D, the 5D, my experiences with it, and opening your mind up to it. Some of you guys haven't, I know there's you want to have a lot more astral projection experiences so that you can do your own exploration, and that's what the goal is of this Patreon channel and my channel within itself. So what I need from you guys is again, new Patreon members, again, I appreciate you so much. But you know, but you can message through Patreon, and you can suggest certain content, certain videos, certain types of astral projection workshop videos, and that we want to cover. So we can have nice communication here through Patreon also, and in the next Patreon video, we're going to get more into just meditation techniques, astral projection techniques. And I think what we'll do is, unless you guys want to hear about something else, but I think what I want to do is kind of do more of a walkthrough, again, a step-by-step, more in detail on how to intentionally, you know, have an out-of-body experience, as opposed to, you know, having one while your physical body is asleep. Okay, so talk to you guys soon. Peace, love, light, positive energy to all of you, and then ultimately, I might even do more than one video a week on Patreon. I don't know, but for now though, I'm going to stick to one video per week on Patreon, most likely Sundays, as I mentioned. And then do 2, 3, 4, or even 5 videos on the YouTube channel. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.